Hey, I'm Courtney Waterman, your tutor. Lover of anime, manga, and math. And you just tuned into another session of Tutor Me Sempai. Welcome back, everyone. Today we're jumping into a 7th grade topic, congruent angles. Now, if you're new to my channel, I'll be putting time codes in for this video in the description box below, so use that to skip ahead to whatever part of the video you think is most interesting. As always, if you have any question about what you see here today, or even your own homework, you can always put it in the comment box below, or visit me on my Facebook page at Tutor Me Sempai and tell me all about it there. This video should be a rather short one, so leave a like, smash the subscribe button, and let's get started. Congruent angles are actually very simple, so let's jump directly into the definition and you'll see exactly what I mean by that. Angles are considered congruent only if they have equal measure. Once again, angles are considered congruent only if they have equal measures. Now, what are measures? So let's say you have these angles here. The measure is just going to be whatever this angle A actually equals. So if angle A, right, so that's the notation for angle A. If angle A equals, let's say, 30 degrees, we say 30 degrees is the measure of angle A. If angle B equals 30 degrees, we say the measure of angle B is 30 degrees. So if these two are equal, like they are here, we consider angle A to be congruent to angle B. And there's special notation for that. You would simply write angle A, you put the equal sign with a squiggly on top, angle B. This denotes that angle A is congruent to angle B. So once again, two angles are considered to be congruent only if they have equal measure. If the measures are not equal, they are not congruent. Let's look at a few examples to drive this point home. Let's look at this example here. We have an angle A and we have an angle B, and we see that the measure of angle A is 63 degrees. We see that the measure of angle B is also 62 degrees. Are these two angles congruent? Yes, the answer is going to be yes, because they have the same measure. Because the measures equal each other, we consider these two angles to be congruent. So, yes, that is true. How about this example here? We have an angle A and we have an angle B. In this case, angle A is going to be 127 degrees and angle B is going to be 51 degrees. Do we have congruent angles? No, this is not congruent because their measures are not equal. Let's look at another example. How about this example? We have an angle A and we have an angle B. However, we don't see any written measures. Can we still say that these two angles are congruent just by looking at them? The answer is we don't know. I can't say that they are congruent and I can't say they aren't congruent because we don't know the exact measure. This could be very close to this one, but without knowing exactly what the measures are, we can't tell if these are going to be congruent. We don't know. So just because angles look the same doesn't mean that they are the same. Make sure that you know exactly what the measure of each angle is before you say that they're congruent. For example, this could be 130 degrees and this could be 131 degrees. We don't know. And it's going to be pretty hard to eyeball that without actually measuring it. So you don't want to fall into that trap by saying they're congruent just because they look very similar. Let's look at one more example. Here we have our last pair of angles, angle A and angle B. However, once again, like our last example, we don't have the written measures of these angles. Can we tell if these angles are going to be congruent or not? The answer is yes, we can tell. Now that we can tell, what are they? Are they congruent or aren't they congruent? They are congruent. And how do we know that? We know because this drawn out notation actually means that this is a right angle. And we know that right angles always, so angle A being a right angle, is going to always have 90 degrees. This over here says the same thing. This box means that this is a right angle, so angle B is going to be 90 degrees. Therefore, they have the same measure, thus they are congruent. Also, note the orientations of the angles do not matter. It's just the measure. So when you have these pictures, unless they have this notation that lets you know this is a right angle, you can't really use the image to tell if it's congruent or not. You really have to go based off of the measurements of the angle specifically. So don't get confused by what's drawn there. Make sure you're focusing on the measures. That's what the definition is. The measures have to be equal. So I hope you're following to these examples, and I hope you see that congruent angles are very, very, very simple. All you need to know is, do they have the same measure? If so, they're congruent. However, if you have any questions whatsoever, feel free to put them in the comment box below, or visit me on my Facebook page at Tutor Me Sempai and tell me all about it there. If you haven't done so already, remember to leave that like. It really helps the channel by letting YouTube know that you found this video helpful. And if you found it helpful, so can someone else. So leave a like, smash the subscribe, hit the notification bell, and while you're at it, share this video with a friend. Well, that's all the time I have for today. I'm really hoping this helped with your homework, and I'm looking forward to seeing you again next week. I'm Courtney, and this is another session of Tutor Me Sempai.